Hello, welcome to Tehele Founders podcast. Tehele Ventures is a Silicon Valley-based venture capital platform that helps startups in the US and across the world find investors and raise capital. To discuss his Tehele experience, today we have the founder of Uni Transfer, Vaughn. His company based in San Francisco, Uni Transfer is a local-first AI training tool designed to remove the friction that prevents most people from training machine learning models. Today, training AI requires navigating fragmented frameworks, complex environments, and intimidating cloud infrastructure. Uni Trainer consolidates this entire process into a single visual workflow that allows users to upload data, select models, and train it either locally or on cloud GPUs without writing boilerplate code or managing infrastructure. Hello, our guest today is Vaughn. My pleasure to talk to you. Super excited to have this chat with you today.
Likewise, Danny. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. If you can start with your background, I know that you mentioned a little offline that you have been in marketing and you started your own no-code company, but if you want to expand a little on that'd be a great start.
Yeah, cool. So I'll give you a little bit of a detailed background. So I'm 19 years old. I live in California, and my main background is marketing and sales. So last year I started my marketing agency. We did over 7 figures in revenue from 2025 to 2026. And now, by those marketing skills, I kind of learned to identify problems and execute really fast on those problems. So I tried to start a project that had to do a lot with computer vision training in late December 2025. And I ran into an issue that even if I use AI to set up my environments for AI training, it still takes a while because, you have to upload the data set, then you have to wait for it to train. And sometimes things always break. So I was like, why don't I make a tool for myself first, see if it works. So I made a tool and then I showed some users and they said, wow, my company could use this. And I was like, okay, let me just expand on it. So I expanded on it and now I have a fully functional AI training tool that requires no coding at all. And, we have some devs using it right now. We have some partnerships lined up. So, we'll see how the future goes. That's basically it.
Yeah, no, that's great. At such young age, you're practically already aware of, how to properly start your company and how to, navigate all this very complicated process with market research and pivoting and such. Let's chat a little bit more about the Tehele platform. If you want to share your own experience, how it helped you already, or some of the features that you like.
Tehele Ventures, what really stood out to me the most was, first of all, Tehele AI. And second of all, that you can actually schedule a call with one of the team members to, go over everything with you. And I actually used Tehele to fix up my pitch deck. So there's a feature, Tehele AI. And with that, you can basically, ask it questions and it will answer based on your startup. So you can upload your startup to Tehele and then it kind of researches the startup and then you can chat with Tehele AI, about your startup and if it's the right market fit, if it's early, if it's good, what documents you need to make. So my main thing that I actually was missing was projections. So Cindy actually helped me with that and she guided me through how I can actually leverage Tehele AI to make projections. So I made projections and I added them to my pitch deck. And that was actually a very big part because after I did that, I got a lot more interest from investors and those types of people that were, interested in the company.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing. That's amazing. On Tehele, we have a bunch of different features, including things like Startup Toolkit, and you have access to all of these amazing templates, whether it's financial, legal, operations, pitch deck. So besides the features that you've mentioned, have any other features stood out to you?
There are templates for, setting up your company, I believe, and then for literal just legal documents and all the things you need that you can't. Even if you can find them online, it'll be a while. Why not just download them off Tahel? They're official documents, and you can just fill them out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. And finally, you mentioned Tehele AI, but there is also another feature called Ask Tehele, which also uses AI.
Mhm.
And would you say that you, as a young founder who has to navigate all of these unknowns and questions, and maybe some of that is a little scary at times, would you say that features like Ask Tehele and Tehele AI helpful for you to navigate this domain?
Yeah, definitely. So it's like a chat bot literally tailored for your startup. So it's basically perfect for people. Like there's some questions that Tehele can answer that ChatGPT can't, because Tehele literally has my pitch deck, and it analyzed the pitch deck and learned off that pitch deck, and it has the product. It did the product research all within. So there's things that Tehele can do that, let's say, ChatGPT can't do, because it doesn't have the insight that Tehele has. That's a
Yeah.
great thing about it.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So going back to your company, obviously as a startup, most startups are in this field require future funding, or different stages like pre-seed, seed, Series A.
Yeah.
So if you can speak to your the stage of your company, what's your funding stage, and what you're looking for in terms of
Yeah.
investment?
Cool. So I am pretty early. So the project is 30 days old now, but it's made a lot of progress so far. So we went from nothing to literally a fully working app that devs are using as we speak. They're training AI models as we speak, and fine tuning and inferencing. So literally people are using this right now. As of funding, I am raising a pre-seed of 350,000, because the Uni Trainer is it's like a part of a bigger project I'm working on. So I can't really speak too much on the bigger project. I'm gonna keep it in stealth mode for now, but it's gonna be a game changer for a lot of things, mainly data, because after building Uni Trainer, you come to a realization that it's not the wedge is not people learning how to train AI. The wedge is people can't get good data, and we're also going to be solving that issue as well.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. And finally, if you have some advice for other startup founders who are maybe looking for investment, or looking to figure out all of these details like pitch decks and legal documents and so on, in the context of Tehele Ventures as a platform, um, do you have some advice for other founders?
Yeah. So the main advice I always give everybody is, take the step that's hardest and actually take the first step. So the first step is always the hardest. It's going to be the hardest to take. You're going to be the most hesitant, but that's why I do it as fast as I can to just get it out the way. So if I want to start something, I do it literally within 10 minutes of thinking about it, because when you give yourself time to think about it, you think more negative than positive, because your brain, I don't know why it's wired that way, but it just gives you like the easy outcome that just chill and like don't do anything instead of trying and being stressed. It's basically like a survival mechanism. So if you're a founder, or if you want to be a founder, you got to do it right now.